Hello, buddy. I am FTA.
I am Mad World Konos fan.
Sure. My Mad World Nus fan.
Let's go with that.
Welcome back to another episode of All Stars Gaming Season 5. We are here for an episode requested by Patreon, the Crazy Even. And he is crazy because he's recommended we play Mad World. Get it?
But Gareth, this game's got
What?
we'll get demonetized.
Is that a thing? Does that still happen?
I don't know. Maybe. Probably. I don't know. Sure. You're looking at me like I'm just gonna snap with the answer and be like, "Oh right,
Like,
Susan told me."
Because you keep up with those YouTube things, like.
Yeah, but my channel doesn't make money, so I don't care right now.
Okay.
And at FTCR, our channel gets away with it somehow, so I'm not sure.
But we don't. I think
Because I can say "fuck" right now and we won't lose anything on this video, so I don't know. But
Yeah.
the word is, for a while, if I said "fuck" on this video, YouTube would be like, "Oh no,
it's like
no Coke ads on FTCR."
It's like some cool with Johnny has to censor himself in his Team Suck Racing review.
I saw that and I was disappointed.
Coward.
I thumbs down the video when I saw that. Then I clapped.
I unsubscribed. And
So
I
Mad
sent
World.
Johnny a bad text.
Uh,
This is very similar to House of Dead Overkill. It's a game I bought for the Wii like a decade ago because I heard it was good and I bought it cheap and I have not touched it.
I love that this series is just nosediving into a thing where you and I are like, "Yeah, everyone says this game's pretty good, so I bought it and didn't play it."
It's a mixture. It's a mixture of games we love, games we have an affinity to wanting to play, and games you have no idea what the fuck they are. And we can't wait to start playing it. So we should. I think it goes without saying if you've watched these before, we can't hear the TV, so I'm sure there's something very interesting happening in the audio.
We don't have a pro setup, so we don't have headphones feeding us the audio.
That's one of our goals for 2020. So if you'd like
be
us,
able-
if
to be
you'd
able to
like
hear the
us
game.
to actually listen to the game and give you a bit of feedback, please maybe consider joining our Patreon, where you can also demand we play a game, whether it's good or bad. We'll try it as long as we have access to it.
So
So
luckily, in this case, we got an interesting game. If nothing else, I don't know how you'll feel about it. I also bought this game with the intention to play it and never really played it. So it seems like something you would enjoy. It's Platinum, and you like their wacky shit.
I mean, I've only played a handful of Platinum games, but I've liked the ones that with that they being.
We did Bayonetta 2 on this series, right?
Yeah, I played. I haven't finished them. They're again on my ever-growing list of games to go back and play. But Transformers Devastation, I loved. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles: Mutants in Manhattan was a game
That we'll get to.
we'll get to. It was a game. So I guess this is technically a Sega IP. I guess Sega worked with Platinum. Seems like a lot. Bayonetta and this. Did they ever do any other games, or was it just the Bayonetta franchise and this one?
So there was this. There was a game called Infinite Space on the DS, technically. Bayonetta, Vanquish from the Resident Evil guy. I'm forgetting one in this. I'm not sure. But they had a 4-game contract, basically.
Oh, nice.
But then they slipped out a 5th game because Platinum are crazy. And it was actually a sequel to this game, not on the Wii. It was called Anarchy Reigns, if you remember that.
I remember the title. What was that on 360?
Yeah, 360 PS3 is like a $30 online 3D beat 'em up. I don't want to say Power Stone derivative, but more in that style than other 3D fighters, I guess.
Okay.
It probably sold like 3.5 copies.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Was it any good?
It was okay. I think a lot of people is one, Sega didn't market their games very well back then.
Oh, shocking.
2, the game was weird, so it was hard to market at all.
The game was weird.
And 3, it was a sequel to this game, but you play the same character, but it's not a black and white game world or anything.
Unless I'm mistaken, that font, the deathmatch ranking, looks shockingly similar to the Darkwing Duck font.
You're looking? Oh,
On my comic
Yeah.
section back there. Looks kind of not amazingly, not exactly the same, but kind of similar.
Hmm.
So take the challenge. Yes.
Of course.
So again, this is as we often do with All Stars games. This is actually something I'm not sure if people enjoy or not. We try. This is authentic, first time playing it, so I literally have no idea what's going to happen. I wonder if people actually like that, because I think sometimes like I'll never to be mentioned of again. Little Big Planet video. Sometimes
I still think we should.
Sometimes that can go bad.
I think we should just Patreon exclusive that one to this day. I'm look back on that one like maybe, but you know, we don't shy away from our mistakes. We put it that way.
No, if anyone's ever seen this channel, yeah, we really don't. We really don't. It's mostly mistakes with the occasional success.
So I'm sure I've expressed the sentiment on this channel before. I don't want to discredit everything Platinum's done since. Metal Gear Rising and Nier Automata are fucking great games. But I really think Platinum's vibe really helped flesh out Sega in this time when they didn't really have too much else going on. And I think they're a really good fit for Sega's kind of style in general. And I'm always a little sad that they didn't just like see what they had and buy them up and actually market their games and try to convince people to buy them. You know what I mean? It's like their stuff's all really goofy, wacky, stylistic stuff, and it's got more edge than a lot of Sega stuff, but I think that would have helped it make sense as part of their catalog.
So what you're saying is you and Platinum Games do a Jet Set Radio sequel.
That'd be interesting.
I was in my head, I was thinking, what like established IP could Platinum work on now?
Yeah, if you had to toss them at something like
and it's literally only because this is so shady. So it's just a fucking Jet Set Radio.
Yeah, I'd take it.
Because I was like, Streets of Rage wouldn't work, and I don't think Streets of Rage would work for their type of insanely high fast action beat them up.
They could do it, but it'd feel like you were kind of dulling what they can do a little bit.
I think Streets of Rage 4 is perfect for I cannot wait for Streets of Rage 4 to come out.
Can I get into that with you?
Fuck yeah, man.
Fuck this game. Okay.
Yeah.
Every time Streets of Rage 4 comes up on the internet, I see people complain about the art style. And
What? Are those people high? And it's great.
I can get it if you're saying, I wish it was sprite art or whatever, but I see people just flat out say they don't like the art. I'm like, what? I think it looks fucking great.
I love the like lighting effects. I think that gives it.
Yeah.
You know what?
My only qualms are like the sound design with that so far, because like none of the punches have like the impact I want them to have. But it's still, we don't even know when it's coming out.
Yeah, I mean, I'll just say, and this is me. You might want to say this is a hot take. I'm kind of over sprite games in this day and age.
Oh, well, could it be because there's now 1 billion of them every week?
I mean, I get that it's cheap. You know, it's a good way to. Oh, I should probably see what I'm fucking doing.
You have a chainsaw arm now, by the way.
Fucking A.
That happened. If this is like their other games, you can probably, air quote, button mash your way through this. Oh, Big Bull Eddie. Oh, Little Eddie. My bad. I conflated 2 names. So you're over the sprite games a little bit, huh?
Just the kind of sprite aesthetic. I'm kind of because I get it's like, oh fucking hey, that's great. Can you? I think let's just jump. It's a thing where it's just like I get why for like low/no budget developers it's cheap and quick. I get that. I just think that it's. I'm not saying it can't be used, you know, to do something good, but it's. I love every step the same for me. So it's kind of like over. But this, you know,
for you personally, it's not where your interests are. It's probably the best way to say what you're saying.
I mean. Not to say that I would never want to see a sprite-based game ever again. Like, you know, Sonic Mania, give me that. That's fine. It's just like, yeah, you know, maybe. Also, I guess also it's 8-bit sprites. Yeah. I'd love it if someone did like a 32-bit, like Mega Man 8 style sprite game. Yeah, put some effort into the sprites. Then I'm all down for that.
Give it like 6 years, and we'll be back on this couch being like, there's too many PS1 looking games. Like, I know it's easy for people, but.
I don't think anyone wants PS1 era stuff back. You? Chris.
I played a game this year that actually jumps between that and sprite-based, kind of 32-bit stuff. It's really good, so I'm kind of open to it. See, when someone says, "Hey, Platinum's putting out a new game," I kind of just want dumb shit like this.
The,
This is all I ever really need from
the
them.
visual style, it's very like Sin City-esque.
Mhm.
Just with insane blood. I guess that this was a time when Sega was really going more adult, like this, House of the Dead, Overkill. It's crazy to think that both of these are on the Wii, you know?
Yeah,
Like the Nintendo's maybe most family-friendly console. Yeah, it just
there was always like this weird push around the Wii of like, who's gonna make the first M-rated game that really hit on the system? There's stuff like Conduit, this, what House of the Dead. But I think this is probably the one that really did it, other than Conduit. But
See,
it was always weird to me that that was like a thing people were constantly chasing for.
I don't even like what's Conduit. I don't even remember that.
That was a made for the Wii first-person shooting game.
Okay.
Because everyone always thought it made a lot of sense for shooting games to use the Wii remote to point specifically. So, like, in addition to wanting an integrated game, everyone was always like, when is the first shooter when it really hit for the system and makes sense? And yeah, it has its fans. It got a sequel. I think it maybe underperformed, but it's just always weird to me that that was the thing that people seem to be like searching for.
So is this a thing where Sega still? I guess Sega still owns the IP for this, correct?
Yeah, kind of like how they still own Bayonetta
Even though they don't do anything for Bayonetta anymore.
and barely acknowledge it. Yeah.
I wonder why that is. Like they keep getting sequel. I mean, I know that like Nintendo seem are more doing stuff for it, but it's
I think at this point they're just happy to let Nintendo foot that bill.
like I
'Cause
get,
it's a caliber of game Sega would fund nowadays, I think. So I think they're just like, oh, Nintendo paid for it, fuck it.
yeah, but you would think they would like. Do they even market it? You know, like do they even acknowledge it, or do they just is their name just on the box and that's it?
I think, I don't even remember. I think Nintendo handled most of the marketing for 2. So, I don't know. Yeah, that's a weird situation all over the place. Getting cracked, son.
Yeah, that made it,
Stefan likes this game a lot, doesn't he?
yes.
Of course he would, Stefan. Right? Am I right?
Am I right, boys?
Ah,
Got him.
He likes things. How
What a
dare he.
fucking nerd.
He's supposed to hate everything like us.
Like Steven does. Oh my god, it's amazing.
Literally that guy in half. I feel like the ideal sequel to this game lets you pick up those cars and do shit with it. You know what I mean? So there's the thing that's kept me from really getting too into this. How are you enjoying the motion controls 5 minutes in? Because it feels like it's wanting me to do a lot with that.
It's fun.
Are you,
I
are you
think.
vehemently against motion controls in general?
I mean, I will say the reason why I broke down and bought a PS3 was I got sick of motion controls. But like, I don't mind them in general. Like it's really so far it's just making me do motion controls to finish them off.
Mm. Yeah, because I'm just looking at how much you're doing, and I'm thinking, like, man, do I have that patience? I have no attention span, by the way. Just to clarify that for anyone in the comments. But part of me wants like a version of Mad World where you just have a button press for that. And I'm sure you can emulate it and do that, but you know what I mean. Like an
Yeah.
actual release.
It's like I'm sure if there was a sequel, we should they'd probably just do that.
Ah, but there was.
I mean, like a room
Yeah.
sequel.
Yeah, Mad World 2.
Yeah. I did it.
Don't limit yourself to tires.
DW, it is topping up.
Like how he says, don't limit yourself just to tires, and he's like, okay, but get closer to the tire though. Nothing worse than a third wheel.
Yeah, maybe don't do that when I'm fucking in a fight. What the fuck? Come on. I'm trying to kill people, man.
You ever divert your attention to say, here's a signpost, I guess.
Yeah.
There you go.
You know what? I know it's juvenile, but
There's something,
It's-
there's a raw joy to that.
there's something just visceral around just shoving a signpost on someone's forehead. Like,
Circling back to the, what would you want Platinum to do? I've now realized Platinum Games Yakuza. would make so much sense.
No, I want them to redo a Turtle game, but do it like just make it this insanely bloody.
Make it good.
Let's have Donatello just fucking shove his bow staff down someone's throat. So what are Platinum up to? Like, would you say? So, Label was what, like 10 years ago?
I think it was literally 10 years ago. Yeah.
So
they have Bayonetta 3, which they showed at the Game Awards.
But they announced like 2 years ago, and they've done nothing. They haven't done anything since.
They just put out Astral Chain on the Switch.
Wait, was that good? Was that good?
I've heard some people were mad, and some people really liked it. So that's usually what happens when they put out a game. Those games, their games tend to find their fans, and their fans tend to get very vocal about those games. So I don't know. Some people talk to it like there wasn't a great combo system, and that the gameplay was really repetitive, and like bad platforming is kind of the usual platinum complaint. But I want to try it for sure. It seems like there's something there. But aside from that, there was a time where it seemed like Platinum had a new game every other week. So they're pretty low key nowadays.
What would you say that is typically seen of as their best game?
Bayonetta, no doubt.
Oh, the first one or second one?
That's where you get into trouble with some people. I like two more personally. I think the story is somehow worse outside of the opening cutscenes. I literally skipped cutscenes because I just couldn't take it. But I enjoyed the vibe of two more. Some people will tell you Vanquish is their best game. That was like a third-person shooter kind of game. And the more I play that over the years, the more I think I might actually agree. It's mainly like Bayonetta or Vanquish. And some people say Nier Automata.
Oh, the new one?
Yeah. And I can see it because that game's pretty fucking good too.
Okay, so that was my bad. I thought. Okay, so I'm sure people just now will scream and go, "What the fuck are you doing?" I thought you had to throw the tire.
Oh.
Because that's what I did the first time. But
see, if you weren't holding a conversation and recording a game for the internet, you probably could have read Agent 13's text. But
just so juvenile about it.
Yeah. I remember reading about this in Nintendo Power all the fucking time. And they were like, yeah, there's like a literal dartboard and you just throw people on the spikes on the dartboard or something. I'm like, this sounds really dumb. I'm not old enough to play this yet, but I want to. It's cool though, because like, standard definition game, 4x3.
Yeah,
well, I always kind of wondered if this art style would make sense, especially on an HD TV. But like, I think for the most part, everything reads clearly. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's. I mean, that's the thing where having a good art style in the long run will help you better than trying to push for like insane realism.
Yeah, like this will still look really good in like 10 years. Well, I mean, it's been 10 years.
Yeah, it's. I mean, and that's why if you go to like some, games that try to go, the story-driven, minimal gameplay type games from like the PS3 era. Someone always just like, I don't know, man. I don't know about that even.
Yeah, like if they didn't want to take out the motion controls and just said, hey, here's this game on Switch, but now it's widescreen and HD, that'd be pretty fucking cool. Actually, I think they would do that.
Well, see, that's the thing. So, how well did this game sell?
I don't know numbers, but I feel like it and Bayonetta were probably their most popular games from back then, for sure. So I'd say it probably sold well enough. It just probably never went further because of Sega, if I had to guess on that one. Because the Wii kind of ran into an issue where it sold like crazy, but if you weren't Wii Sports or Wii Fit, you couldn't sell on that system.
Yeah,
like comparison. So, maybe it sold really well, and they didn't consider it a success because of the units sold. Like Sega, especially back then, Sega could find a reason.
Well, even now,
even now, sometimes, yeah, you look at what they're doing, you're like, what?
Where's fucking Mania 2, man? Come on.
That's the big one. Yeah, I have no idea how they haven't. I have no idea how they
Like, I'm sorry.
haven't even talked about it.
Fuck, I don't know.
But yeah.
I just imagine Aaron Webber every day in Saints going like, so, Mania 2, yes?
Mizuka's like, oh, Forces 2, yes. What if the original character had 2 grappling books? Huh?
And they were both so context sensitive that, yes.
Just put them in the quick time events you can't fail, it's fine. Yeah. Do you care for Rambo? I keep seeing First Blood. I'm thinking about Rambo.
You know, I've never seen them.
Oh, really?
Never seen any movies.
Wow.
What most people say, you know, the first one, good movie, and then it just becomes a cartoon franchise as it goes on.
I've only seen First Blood, but a new one just came out around
Yes.
the time of this recording, so I was curious if you cared. 'Cause
I haven't
think
seen
do.
it, but the writer of the original book was like, I'm ashamed to have that movie associated with my book.
Oh, okay. That probably tells me what I needed to know. Yeah.
I just did pick it up. Dickhead. Routine violence, fucking.
I was just confused because I thought the last new Rambo, called Rambo, was meant to be the last Rambo. But now he's like, well, it's Last Blood. But I feel like there's going to be a Last Blood 2 at this point.
I don't think Last Blood was that successful commercially or critically, so this may truly well be the death of John Rambo.
May he rest in peace. Oh, are you about to launch a dude in the jet turbine?
Oh, maybe.
That sounds pretty good.
Alright, yeah, maybe I can throw someone in there and we can pull this video.
End on a high note.
Yeah. For a little surprise, fuck.
How about those, you a Rocky guy?
Love Rocky.
How are those,
Creed movies, fucking great.
hmm.
Creed 1 is one of the best Rocky movies.
That's another thing. I've only seen Rocky 1. I want to at least see, like, what is it? Rocky 4 is the one where he fights.
Dude, I fucking love Rocky. Rocky 4 is the movie where he ends the Cold War with his fists.
I was going to say I need to watch Rocky 4. Now I definitely need to watch Rocky 4.
It's a movie that is mostly montages and footage of Rocky 3.
Okay.
It has a bitchin' ass soundtrack.
I remember this guy from the game Anarchy Reigns. I think he was like general nonsense causer.
Oh yeah, good.
I fucking love The Incredibles, dude.
No kips! Here you go, Tango.
Yeah, good job doing that.
What if that's Sega's way of saying we can get around the objectification of women if we have her throw the pimp into the machine?
God. Just kind of watching dudes in there like it's nothing. Shoulder kick. Ooh. Ah.
That's cool. Swing the Wii remote. Okay, give a shoulder throw.
Does it mean horizontally? Like, eh? It's like a definite uppercut.
I don't know exactly what it wants, but okay, we'll just throw this guy. Let's give this guy a good old.
We're wading through molasses over to this dude. There you go. That looks like what you're supposed to do.
Oh, there you go. Get in there, you bastard.
What a dumb game. Just taking everything in right now. What a dumb
This
game.
game's. I want to keep playing this game. Let's just make the rest of Ozar's game in Season 5 with us playing this.
Okay, that sounds good. Stefan's been wanting LPS forever, so you have a good reason to keep playing.
There we go. Oh, okay, one more round. Okay, I guess I can do this one more round.
Last call for Mad World.
Is there any final thoughts, Chris?
I don't have the time to play this, but now I want to make time to play it.
I know, right? Goddamn.
Just seeing it, it's like, yep, all right, Platinum is good games.
We should say because we have to mention the Blue Rat. This game, I guess, introduced Sega to Ken Pontac and Warren Graff.
Oh yeah, they wrote this.
And then from this, obviously, because I think that this came out just before Colors, then they went on to write Sonic Colors. and they've been with the franchise ever since, for good or bad, depending on your point of view on the quality of their work. But I think we'll call it a day. We went slightly longer for All Stars Gaming than we normally do, but this was fun.
Yeah.
Kind of like House of the Dead. I want to go back and play more House of the Dead Overkill and this, but I think we'll call it a day there. So thank you everyone, and we'll see you on the next video.
Bye bye.